वैराग्य विद्या निज भक्ति योगा शिक्षार्थमेक पुरुष पुराना श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य शरीर धारी कृपाम्बुदीर्य तमहं प्रपद्ये मूकं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुदीनतारणम् वाञ्छकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. Warm welcome everyone in this study of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. So we'll continue our study of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. And maybe I'll ask a question now. And sorry for putting you on the spot. If you have any thoughts, kindly share or just a bit meditate on the question, and during the course of this study, you may share the response. So the question is like, what do you think is the most uncommon thing or uncommon quality, say, uncommon quality in this world? What is the most rare commodity, uncommon commodity in this world? Something quite basic yet uncommon. Something quite basic yet very rare commodity in this world. And Bhagavad Gita is such a journey which is very basics, very fundamental, something very core to the heart. See, relationship, which is a relationship which Krishna is having with Arjuna, Krishna is sharing with Arjuna. And relationship is such a big thing, na? Relationship is something very valuable, very valuable. So, relationship is something to be cared for, to be looked for, to be respected, nurtured, given time, furthermore. And with time is again such an energy of Krishna, time is such a good representation of Krishna, or time is such a good friend in our life. Krishna cares for us through the instrument or the agency of time. So, time, I say this, we say this what? Time acts as both healer and as revealer as well. Time with time heals. Time is the best healer. So time heals many a wounds, and time reveals as well. As they say na in English, time tells. समय बताएगा. है ना? So time tells also, time reveals also, and time heals as well. So in our practice of Krishna consciousness, all of us want to grow. We want to grow. So we give ourselves fair time, we give ourselves fair space, we give ourselves fair pace in growing also. And then time will help us heal through our conditioning, what conditionings we are carrying, our struggles, our habits, our thoughts, our worries, our past. Time will heal the past very nicely. And also, time will reveal to us that Krishna consciousness in the heart. And anything revealed in the heart, that joy can never be taken away. That mysticism, that charm can never be taken away. That is the confirmation. And revelation in the heart, not sentimentally, not just sentimentally. Yeah? Very scientific revelation in the heart, a proper shift in consciousness, proper revolution in consciousness, a proper change in consciousness. So, bear in mind the so we start with this question: what is the rare, uncommon commodity in this world? Basic but rare, uncommon commodity in this world. Now, Krishna consciousness, it's a change of heart. It's a change in heart. It's an internal disposition in one's overall well-being, overall sustenance, maintenance. And what do we mean by change of heart? And we all have heard, right? Spirituality is internal, happiness is internal, Krishna consciousness is an internal process. If any thoughts, if anyone would like to say, what do you mean? What do we understand when we hear Krishna consciousness is an internal cleansing, internal change of heart? What does it mean? Spirituality is internal, happiness is internal. Krishna consciousness is an internal subject matter, internal change of heart, internal meaning, uh, like something core to the heart. And by heart, also change of heart doesn't mean, it definitely does not mean, oh, what do you mean by change of heart? Where my heart is situated in the body, does it change from that position to elsewhere? Or does the heart start beating a bit fast or slow? Or as heart, does it start growing in size or shrinking in size? No, neither of those. Change of heart meaning change of desires, change of attachments, change of emotions, change of aims, aspirations, change of goal, change of vision, change of personality altogether, change of identity altogether. Mm. And that is what is meant by internal as well. A complete internal transformation and external transformation also. But our everything external transformation is ruled by the internal. This is a fact of life, right? This is the law. It is the subtle which rules over the gross. Subtler than the dull senses, than the material objects is what? Mind. Subtler, finer than mind is what? Intelligence. Finer than intelligence is ego. Finer than ego is the consciousness. And finer than consciousness is the soul proper. So it is the subtle which rules over the gross. Hmm? So attachment, change of heart meaning or internal shift, internal meaning, change of attachments, change of desires, change of aims, aspirations, goals, visions, understanding, identity, definition of life, workings of life. And this is that internal mood which we want to bring about. And then external will also change. Arjuna did not needed an external change. No, he needed an internal change. We also need an internal change. An external will easily settle down. It is not like problems will go away. Problems could well be there, but we would um, become stronger. Yeah? Our consciousness level will go up. So naturally, the problem won't be a problem for us then. So with this prayer, with this mood, with this aim, aspiration, that's the Krishna consciousness, we pray to the deities that kindly reveal this Krishna consciousness in my heart. Let me be a part of this heart transformation. Uh, Let me experience this bliss. This is mysticism. Let me experience the charm, the mysticism in the practice of Krishna consciousness. Knowledge means at the platform of experience. Experience. And then wisdom is that which has become our realized knowledge, as in that which has become my solidified experience, which has become my natural experience. That is the stage we want to aspire to become a natural devotee of Krishna. Then, when we speak Bhagavad Gita, it should be a natural flow. Speaking Shrimad Bhagavatam should be natural flow. Reading Shrimad Bhagavatam, listening to Shrimad Bhagavatam, everything we aspire to let it be natural. Natural meaning coming from the heart. So that the heart needs changing a bit. The heart needs cleansing a bit. So with this mood, aspiration, prayer, hope, desire, we further continue our study of Srimad Bhagavad Gita, and every day we should take this opportunity to glorify Gita and to come up with prayers, further and further prayers to strengthen our faith, to strengthen our practice, hmm, to put us in right association and give us that purity. Ah, Krishna consciousness is that journey from prayers to Krishna Prem. From prayers to Krishna Prem. So with these prayers, we continue and think of this question we asked at the very beginning, that what is that commodity uh, which is so uncommon in this world? And anytime if you have any thoughts, then please unmute yourself and speak. Huh? And anytime any questions or thoughts, questions or comments or any additions, then kindly cut me out. So today we start with chapter 14 and the three modes of material nature. Huh? So we'll read first sloka and perhaps might read first two, three shlokas together. Let's see how Krishna takes us, how the mood flows. And the title is fascinating. We'll try to a bit understand the title as well, the three modes of material nature. Huh? Very interesting chapter. Very practical, very relatable, very interesting chapter. Very lucid and simple. Huh? This chapter. So let's start text 1. Shri Bhagwan Vacha Param Bhuya Pravakshyami Jnananam Jnanam Uttamam Yajñatva Munaya Sarve Param Siddhim Ito Gata. Preeti ji, padhiye. Oh,
Supreme Personality of Godhead said, again I shall declare to you this supreme wisdom, the best of all knowledge, knowing what all sages have attained, the supreme perfection. From the seventh chapter to the end of 12th chapter, Sri Krishna in details revealed the absolute truth, the supreme personality of Godhead. Now the Lord himself is further enlightening Arjuna. If one understands this chapter through the process of philosophical speculation, he would come to an understanding of devotional service. In the 13th chapter, it was clearly explained that by humbly developing knowledge, one may possibly be free from material entanglement. It has also been explained that it is due to the association with the modes of nature that the living entities entangle in this material world. Now, in this chapter, the Supreme Personality explains what those modes of nature are, how they act, how they bind, and how they give liberation. The knowledge explained in this chapter is proclaimed by the Supreme Lord is to be superior to the knowledge given so far in other chapters. By understanding this knowledge, various great sages attained perfection and transferred to spiritual world. The Lord now explains the same knowledge in a better way. The knowledge is far, far superior to all process of the knowledge is far, far superior to all other process of knowledge, thus far explained, and knowledge this many attained perfection, and knowing this many attained perfection. Thus it was expected that one who understand this 14th chapter will attain perfection. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, again I shall declare to you the supreme wisdom, the best of all knowledge, knowing which all the sages have attained supreme perfection.
yeah. This is a bit interesting, right? In many chapters, could be almost every chapter. As we go further reading one chapter of the after the other, no? So mostly it is the first text, right? Like wherein first and sometimes last text as well. Prabhupada writes in his commentary, and Krishna also himself in shloka itself sometimes says like, I'm going to reveal something to you which has never been revealed, or even better, even higher, you know, even higher. Actually, say in 11th chapter we see many times repetition. Arjuna is also repeating, Krishna, you are great, Krishna, you are great, Krishna, you are great, and all. Oh, this is even better, this is even better. There is a book by Srila Sanatan Goswami Pad. Must read. Brihad Bhagavad Mrita. Bhagavad Gita is must read, Bhagavatam is must read, Chaitanya Charitamrita must read, Nectar of Instruction, Nectar of Devotion, Brahma Samhita, Ishopanishad, these are must read. Then Perfect Question, Perfect Answer, Science of Self-Realization, Civilization and Transcendence, On the Way to Krishna, The Matchless Gift, Elevation to Krishna Consciousness. These are must reads. Mukund Mala Stotra, must read. Kinkula Shekaras, 53, I believe. Stotras, hymns, verses, prayers, chants he has written. Wow, such prayers. Mukund Mala Stotra. Then Teachings of Queen Kunti, Prabhupada gave purports on the Queen Kunti's message from Shrimad Bhagavatam. And this Brihad Bhagavad Mrita, I mean, there are countless books by our acharyas. Rupa Goswami, Raghunath Goswami, countless books we should read. So one book is Brihad Bhagavad Mrita. Brihad means huge, voluminous, huge Bhagavad Mrita. So the nectar of Bhagavad culture. So Sanatana Goswami explains there Krishna's pastimes, how they are all one after the other, growing and growing and growing. Love is growing and humility is also growing. Love and humility are synonymous, by the way. Huh? So in that Brihad Bhagavatamrita, we see the culture, how one devotee says like, oh, mm, this is nothing, there is even more, this, then further more love to it, further more love to it. Like here we are saying, right? Krishna is saying in 8 chapters like, oh, there's more. What I've said, I'm going to tell you even more, even better, even more. So just this is transcendental science. This is Krishna consciousness. This is happiness, which increases at every step. This is how happiness should be, right? This is how joy should be, real joy. It has to be permanent. If it is permanent, then it can never be stagnant. It has to be increasing. It is not like permanent happiness, but just one straight line. No, no. Permanent happiness and expanding. Even stress in the eternal realm. If anything is eternal, permanent, it has to be one side only, which is good, which is joy. So even if there is stress, but eternally, which means it is good, that is Divyata. Because in this mundane world, we can never have eternal stress or eternal happiness. Yeah. Eternity is a thing of the divine realm altogether. So, yeah, this is transcendental science where everything is always very increasing and increasing. Bhav is increasing, the emotions increase. So let us read one more, and our question for today remains: what is that rare, uncommon commodity in this world? So, yeah, okay, let's read next to idam jnanam upashritya mama sadharmyam agata sarge apina pajayante pralayena vyathanti cha. Anuja, if you can read translation purport.
By becoming fixed in this knowledge, one can attain to the transcendental nature like my own. Thus established, one is not born at the time of creation or disturbed at the time of dissolution. Purport. After acquiring perfect transcendental knowledge, one acquires qualitative equality with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. becoming free from the repetition of birth and death. One does not, however, lose his identity as an individual soul. It is understood from Vedic literature that the liberated souls who have reached the transcendental planets of the spiritual sky always look to the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord, being engaged in his transcendental loving service. So, even after liberation, the devotees do not lose their individual identities. Generally, in the material world, whether knowledge we get in whether
Whatever knowledge we get is contaminated. And okay, Anuja will read in a minute. I was just sharing with another devotee today that it was very nice doing Kartik Govardhan Parikrama with Anuja this Kartik, and coming 2023 Kartik, all of you, all of us, if we can be in Vrindavan, would be lovely. We do Parikrama and lots of programs in Vrindavan. Maybe I can read this paragraph until Anuja is available. Generally, in the material world, whatever knowledge we get is contaminated by the three modes of material nature. Knowledge which is not contaminated by the modes of nature is called transcendental knowledge. As soon as one is situated in that transcendental knowledge, he is on the same platform as the Supreme Person. Those who have no knowledge of the spiritual sky hold that after being freed from the material activities of the material form, this spiritual identity becomes formless without any variegatedness. However, just as there is material variegatedness in this world, in the spiritual world there is also variegatedness. Those in ignorance of this think that spiritual existence is opposed to material variety. But actually, in the spiritual sky, one attains a spiritual form. There are spiritual activities, and the spiritual situation is called devotional life. That atmosphere is said to be uncontaminated, and one one is equal in quality with the Supreme Lord. To obtain such knowledge, one must develop all the spiritual qualities. One who does develops the spiritual qualities is not affected either by the creation or by destruction of the material world. So, Anuja, can you read the translation again? Okay, I read. By becoming fixed in this knowledge, one can attain to the transcendental nature like my own. Thus established, one is not born at the time of creation or disturbed at the time of dissolution. So, see, uh, uh, what is Krishna offering us? If I have some expectation from Krishna, what can he give us? He's offering us his own nature. And what is Krishna's nature? Satchidananda Vigraha. Hmm, transcendental nature, no? Satchidananda Vigraha. Eternity, a life of eternal bliss and knowledge. That is what Krishna is offering. That is his nature. The company, the vicinity of his pure loving devotees, and that pure, sublime, uh, complete, pious life altogether. Complete that pure, where there is no cheating, there is no malice, there is no hidden agenda, there is no other motive, there is no ulterior motive, there is no politics involved. No. Otherwise, we find in society, even in devotional settings, there could be some sort of politics, some sort of friction and all. No? Material world means some sort of friction is bound to be there. It's a world of duality. Uh, but in the transcendental realm, none of this exists. None of this. And this is what Krishna is offering us, his own nature. That is his nature. And deep down, we also carry the same nature. The nature of the soul is his original consciousness, which is pure Krishna consciousness, uh, complete pure consciousness. And then, when see dissolution or creation, there are four types of annihilation or uh, annihilation. One is what? Uh, when the heavenly planets are annihilated. Destruction, dissolution, सृष्टि की रचना होती है और सृष्टि को ध्वंस भी होता है ना. So annihilation. One is when the heavenly planets from down to the lower planets up until the top three heavenly planets, they are dissolved, but the planets above the heavenly planets, they are not dissolved. Another annihilation is when the entire material cosmos, all the planets in the universe, they are dissolved. Another annihilation is what? Pralaya, है ना? Another is momentarily dissolution. Every moment is passing. Do we live in the present or in the future or in the past? Say a question. Do we live in the present or future or in the past? क्या कहोगे हर्षा, प्रीति, others? We generally live in the past. We generally live in the past in the sense everything is past, na? Time is going, clock is ticking, 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 gone, ticking, ticking, gone. It's all in the past only. And through my consciousness also, I either live in the past or in the future. Seldom can I be in the present. Very seldom. Seldom can I cherish the present moment or can I be at peace in the present moment. Always thinking of the future or of the past, na? So and anyways, clock is ticking. So this is it's a race against time. Genuinely, it is a race against time. Material life, human form of life means from the time we are born, time is up. Our time is up. It's a race against time to attain what? Pure Krishna consciousness. So a genuine sadhaka, a genuine practicing Krishna conscious devotee, he will always find himself short of time. समय ही नहीं है भाई और सब कुछ है भगवान बस पूर्ण समय नहीं है आपका नाम जप करने के लिए means he should be so immersed and so absorbed that he struggles for time. There should be no, he should always feel there's so much to read, there's so much to contemplate, meditate, to listen, to hear, to chant, to do kirtan, to do services, to offer bhoga, to offer arati and all. I'm always short of time. And not in at all in a complaining way. If I can be in somehow put myself in this situation, in this consciousness level, in this mood, if I can imbibe or bring about this mood in myself, then I can do myself a great deal of blessing. How? I can free myself from any gossips in this world, mm, from any politics in this world, from any chaos, any conflicts. I will have no time for entertaining any of this because one would be absorbed. This is what we need to understand that I'm running out of time. Understanding the urgency, the emergency in practicing Krishna consciousness. A sadhaka can never afford to say, oh, I've got lots of time behind me or ahead of me. There's time in front of me. I'm a young age now, 20-year-old, 30-year-old. No, no, no. Someone who is slightly awakened will always himself find short of time, running out of time. So one pralaya is what? This nemitic pralaya, this dissolution, momentary dissolution. Every moment is being taken away. Then there is that dissolution when the top first three from bottom say heavenly planets are taken away, and then a complete dissolution. All the planets dissolve, everything up even Lord Brahma, and those who can make it to the spiritual world make it. Those who don't, most like uh, in a general sense, lie in the belly of Lord Vishnu. Then uh, one another pralaya, one another dissolution, and this dissolution is something which is in the hand of the living entity, the sadhaka, when we leave our body. है. Rest everything can be there. Rest everything can be there. Material world, nations, and all the chaos and good things, bad things, duality, everything. But within myself, if I have got that dissolution, or if I could completely dissolve my false ego, है ना? So that, so there is so much of opportunity for me to liberate myself, and this is that opportunity in this life, how to leave this world once for all, or while living in this world, how to develop a consciousness that I am not of this world. That is there with us. So we'll try to see more how the modes are so heavy, how they work. What do we mean by modes of material nature? What does it mean actually? And liberation, generally, liberation in Hindi, what do we say? Liberation means mukti. है ना? Liberation matlab mukti. And what does mukti mean? Preeti, Harsha, anyone, uh, Anuja? General sense, what does mukti mean? छुटकारा, है ना? मुक्ति मतलब छुटकारा, पीछा छूटा भाई, बला टली, मुक्त हुए.
Yes, being free.
Being free, freedom na, salvation, liberation, salvation, free, freedom. And the connotation comes is, or it's like chutkara, oh, got rid of. Uh, oh, free, got rid of what? This having to work, having to pay taxes, having to pay bills, having to raise children, having to, so nothing, no headache to take, nothing to take. But that is not Krishna conscious mukti. That is just like, by with this na, that oh no, this is binding me. This no, job is binding, family is binding. Let me quit job. Let me quit family. This is what Arjuna was saying earlier on. That Krishna, this is binding. This is binding. I better go and live in the forest. So Krishna conscious meditation is not that sort of meditation. Oh, that this is Maya, or this is illusion, this is illusion. There are many spiritual practitioners who see everything Maya, Maya, Maya. And when Krishna also comes, they do not shy away. Uh, they are so audacious that they do not shy away, even calling Krishna as Maya. Uh, so for some, everything is Maya or everything is illusion. But for us, sadhaka, everything is Krishna's energy. Everything is Krishna man. So we are not after liberation in the sense picha chuta mukti chutkara. We are not in after liberation in the sense, oh, finally I got rid of material world. No, that is not our vision. That is not our real motivation. Oh, finally I got rid of material world. Finally I don't have to worry about things. Real liberation is what? Coming in one's original consciousness and functioning and living. And acting by that consciousness, engaging, acting, living by that consciousness. A small example, one is put in prison, in a jail for some wrong he did, say he did a murder or a heavy crime or big scandal or fraud. So he's put in jail for 20 years, say. Now 20 years he had to maybe do hard labor in the jail, and so tough, food problem, very less freedom. So completely in slavery in many ways. And then after 20 years, when he comes out of jail, wow, liberated, free now. I can take in air, I can walk when I want, sleep, wake up. hmm, I can have the life I want. So after coming from jail, he's liberated, he's freed, he's no more a slave. But what does he do? He engages, na? He then has a life, goes to his family, friends, or makes family, friends, does something. participates. So real mukti is what? Participation in blissful engagement, blissful activity. That is real mukti. Soul by nature is active. Soul by nature is not at all dull. Soul by nature is not at all inert. Matter is dull, matter is inert. Soul is super active by nature. Soul wants reciprocation. है ना? Soul wants connection. Soul wants relationship. Soul wants engagement. That is real liberation, to come to my original consciousness, original identity, original form, original spiritual body, and be in that body for eternity, in a loving relationship with Krishna. And this is where we want to head ourselves. This is where we want to develop ourselves. So it is not like mukti is like losing some identity. And generally, mukti or moksha, for that matter, same, gives the same sort of message. Oh, moksha, like wow, he's paid all his bills now. Real payment of all our bills is what? When I acknowledge my existence in Krishna, when I acknowledge my shelter in Krishna. And from this life on itself, from now, this moment on itself, when I dovetail myself, my desires, my attachments, my aspirations with the message of Krishna. Okay, let us read. Any thoughts, questions, or comments? So let's see next. मम योनिर्महद्ब्रह्म तस्मिन् गर्भं ददाम्यहं सम्भव सर्वभूतानां ततो भवति भारत. Harsha, read.
The total material substance called Brahman is the source of birth, and it is that Brahman that I impregnate, making possible the births of all living beings. O son of Bharata. This is an explanation of the world. Everything that takes place is due to the combination of Kshetra and Kshetrajana, the body and the spirit soul. This combination of material nature and the living entity is made possible by the Supreme God Himself. The Mahit Tattva is the total cause of the total cosmic manifestation, and that total substance of the material cause, in which there are three modes of nature, is sometimes called Brahman. The Supreme Personality impregnates the total substance, and thus innumerable universes become possible. This total material substance, the Mahat Tattva, is described as Brahman in the Vedic literature. Mundaka Upanishad 1.1.19 Tasmat etad Brahma nama rupam annam cha jayate. The Supreme Person impregnates that Brahman with the seeds of the living entities. The 24 elements, beginning from earth, water, fire, and air, are all material energy, and they constitute what is called Mahad Brahma, or the great Brahman, the material nature. As explained in the 7th chapter, beyond this there is another superior nature, the living entity. Into material nature, the superior nature is mixed by the will of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and thereafter all living entities are born of this material nature. The scorpion lays
ये
its
बढ़िया है,
eggs.
ये बढ़िया से पढ़ो, बहुत बढ़िया है.
The scorpion lays its eggs in piles of rice, and sometimes it is said that the scorpion is born out of rice. But the rice is not the cause of the scorpion. Actually, the eggs were laid by the mother. Similarly, material nature is not the cause of the birth of the living entities. Material nature is not the cause of the birth of the living entities.
Read
The
again.
seed given,
Read again, Harsha.
similarly, material nature is not the cause of the birth of the living entities. The seed is given by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and they only seem to come out as products of material nature. Thus, every living entity, according to his past activities, has a different body created by his material nature so that the entity can enjoy or suffer according to his past deeds. The Lord is the cause of all the manifestations of living entities in this material world.
Oh, गजब का है ना paragraph.
Yes.
Yeah. So read that sentence again. Does every living entity, huh? From there.
Thus, every living entity, according to his past activities, has a different body created by this material nature so that the entity can enjoy or suffer according to his past deeds. The Lord is the cause of all the manifestations of living entities in this material world.
Yeah. Okay, translation.
The total material substance called Brahman is the source of birth, and it is that Brahman that I impregnate, making possible the births of all living beings, O son of Bharata.
Yeah. So, how material nature comes into existence? Little bit, a glimpse is given here in Srimad Bhagavad Gita. How in Bhagavatam it is even more detailed. They say what we read in Bible, in Genesis, right? The very beginning, what uh, God desired, let there be light, and there was light. Then God created the world in 7 days, 6 days. 6 days God created the world, and 7 day was the day of Sabbath या resting day ना हिसाब से. तो ठीक है सब it's fine. God is working throughout his energies because if Krishna doesn't work also everything will be ruined altogether. Krishna says this in Bhagavad Gita 3:22 I believe, or from there encouraging Arjuna to act selflessly, to work selflessly. And as previously we once discussed, right, the most powerful force in this world, in this universe altogether or beyond this universe, in all the creations, material, spiritual, is what? Desire of the Lord, will of the Lord. Hari Ichha Baliyasi. Hmm? The desire, the will of the Lord is the ultimate power. So if I want to gain ultimate power, common sense says what? I align myself under the desire or the will of the Lord. I put myself in, I align. A whole human form of life is meant to align myself. This alignment is for humans, not for animals. And they don't need alignment as well. Why? Because they are very much living by their nature. They are not transgressing their nature. Uh, See, we have alpacas in Karuna Bhavan. And alpacas, they always live by their nature. Look, a mother, father alpaca train their child as a proper alpaca and give no complaints that, okay, I've made a proper alpaca and he lives like an alpaca only. A mother, father cow say train their child, okay, proper cow. Yeah. And mother, father dog say proper dog. Mother, father cat say proper cat. Na? And they all live by their instincts. But us humans, the only problem with us humans is we act too smart. uh, We act too intelligent. We act too much. uh, Too much. Krishna wants us to be adequately smart, sufficiently smart, sufficiently intelligent. Of course, he doesn't want us to be dull or naive or stupid or anything like that. No, no. He wants us to be sufficiently smart, smart but sufficiently smart, adequately smart, smart within our limits, say, understanding our limits and living by our limits, working by our limits. That is Krishna consciousness. But we humans, na, we just we there's a conditioned soul, and you give freedom to a conditioned soul. Oh, blimey. Giving freedom to a conditioned soul is like giving a gun to a monkey. What will you do? Hmm? Now, a conditioned soul, if you give him freedom, and if a conditioned soul, you give him too many options, too many choices. Wow, heavy. A conditioned soul, you give him too much of time. Wow, wow, so heavy. A conditioned soul, you give him free will. Oh, dangerous. These are the things like a monkey, you give him liquor, alcohol, na liquor. What will the monk happen to the monkey? If a monkey is made to drink alcohol, ऐसे ही बंदर है ना? ऐसे ही व्यवहार से बंदर है, खूब छलांग लगाता है, इधर उधर भागते रहता है, एकदम भी स्थिर नहीं है, ऊपर से उसको शराब पिला दो. Anyways, is a monkey, can never stay still, doesn't stay still, is always creating some mischief. And then on top of that, if he's made to drink alcohol, what will happen? Anyways, is a monkey, but then on top of alcohol, if he's given a this thing, AK-47 or a gun, what? Just imagine what will happen. Anyways, is a monkey, is made to drink alcohol, is given a revolver, a gun, and if you see, if the monkey is bitten by a scorpion, oh wow. Imagine, see, if a monkey is stung, bitten by a scorpion, है ना, उसको समझो बंदर को काट लिया. So if a monkey is pinched, say if a monkey is, if ego is hurt, and he is very much given intoxicated, and what, he is given power, हाँ? Isn't it pretty? बताओ, बंदर है, उसको पावर दे दो. Means what? Give him authority, give him power. What? Give him gun. Hmm? बंदर है, उसको झाड़ पे चढ़ा दो, as in give him so much of opulence, sense gratification. ओ बंदर क्या सुंदर लगता है, क्या हैंडसम है, हाँ? क्या सुंदर है इत्यादि. So monkey but given so much power like gun. Monkey given intoxication, vanity, intoxication. Monkey whose ego is puffed up or his ego is hurt, what will he do? Create havoc only, na? So and now see, if a group of monkeys, if a group of monkeys are given alcohol, if a group of monkeys are given gun, if a group of monkeys are bitten by a scorpion, uh, what will happen? Such is us human beings. Us. We are those human beings. है ना? We human beings who think ourselves to be too smart. Do we not? Think ourselves to be too intelligent. We like poking. Human beings like poking. So we are poking constantly into material nature. Poking, poking, धीरे धीरे, poking, poking, धीरे धीरे. And what happened? COVID-19 came, right? और थोड़ी सी उंगली हमारी पोक कर रहे थे ना, उंगली लगा रहे थे, उंगली को थोड़ा सा घुमा दिया. So we humans have this tendency to exploit. Krishna doesn't want us to exploit. Krishna wants us to take care of things, control things by looking after them, not exploiting them. socho, many go into relationship, husband wife, a relationship, and what, to look after each other, should be caring after each other, no, should be good friends with each other, not to exploit each other. Guru disciple relationship is to care, look after each other or care, uh, and very emotional, very pure, sacred, spiritual relationship, not to exploit. No, no, not at all. To somehow exploit. Uh, Likewise, parents, children relationship, boss and some subordinate relationship. No, relationship should be cared for. Relationship should be valued. Uh, Relationship should not be played around as fun for some emotions. This is Bhagavad Gita, by the way, and I don't want to sound as like a, first of all, I'm not a teacher or as a moral teacher, but what the teachings of Bhagavad Gita, how Krishna is educating or nurturing Arjuna. So coming to our thing, yeah, monkey. Now a conditioned soul, a conditioned soul, if he is given too much time, क्या करेगा वो, पागल हो जाएगा. A conditioned soul, if he is given too much of choices or options, heavy. Huh? A conditioned soul, if he is given too much of liberty, free will, free time, free, heavy. So, practicing Krishna consciousness, this is why we pray to Krishna that Krishna, I always remember you, never forget you. That a conditioned soul, na, this is what दीक्षा काले भक्त करे आत्मसमर्पण सही काले कृष्ण तारे करे आत्मसम. So the time of initiation, sadhaka, he takes the shelter of a spiritual master who is a customized external manifestation incarnation of Krishna. And that time, what does he do? He gives his free will to the spiritual master. That I am no more myself. I would like to be your property. That belongingness sort of thing. And then when one tries to bring oneself under the care, shelter, under the plan of Krishna, under the energy, under the direct shelter of Krishna. So, yeah, Krishna expects us to be sufficiently smart, adequately smart, not smart like this to exploit over material nature. Rather, not exploiting, but caring, looking after material nature. And as the yeah, so yeah, that on creation. So from Bible we get a synopsis only, a very very just a peek into it. That's it and over. The how element, God wanted the world to be created, so it came into being. How actually, Srimad Bhagavatam. Amazing details. First canto, fifth canto, other places. Lots of details. Then uh, so many worlds, so many planets and universes are there, not just this world. So Krishna consciousness philosophy is not at all a simplistic view or philosophy of life. No, that's just this world, one life, and that's it. Then eternal hell or eternal heaven. That's not what Krishna consciousness philosophy is like. That's not Bhagavad Gita teachings. And God's desire, God's will is the highest power. How can I align myself in that desire, in that will? Human life is meant for alignment. Any dog, we go say rescue dog, or we want to buy a dog, or we want to have a dog. Na? A dog is raised or taken care of by his parents, प्रॉपर डॉग है ना. एक कुत्ते माँ बाप अपने बच्चे को बढ़िया कुत्ता बना देता है प्रॉपर. Cat like that, alpacas like that, cows like that, for that matter. So us humans, we should also train ourselves to become good humans, gentle human beings, na? And then devotee proper. This is, we have this opportunity. Animals do not suffer because they do not transgress their kind of law of nature. They They very much live. They are burning off their karmas. Animals. They are not generating any more new karmas. They are burning off their karmas. Mm, And we humans, we are everything. We are burning off our karmas as well, and we are generating new karmas as well. But practicing Krishna consciousness, we can burn all our sinful reactions to the ashes, completely burn them, completely destroy them, and create no more karma, no more actions, only loving engagements. So whatever we do out of heart. Whatever we do out of pure love, motivated by Krishna, under the will, guidance, shelter, care, engagement, concern of Krishna. है ना? That is how. So also in our practical practice, in our work, in our sadhana, personal daily sadhana, na, whatever we do, we should do slightly more. है Slightly more. That I can listen only an hour, but I should work upon listening for an hour and 15 minutes, an hour, 10 minutes. If daily I can manage to read for an hour, I should make the effort. Okay, no, soon I should be coming to a standard of hour and 10 minutes. For myself, I should never be very lenient. For myself, I should never be lenient. And when it comes to others, I should be considerate. Depending on if I'm someone's authority, like in the sense I'm someone's a manager at work. Huh? So I need to be considerate, but at the same time I need to be fair and see. As they say, na, sometimes, not always, sometimes it is kind to be cruel. Hmm. Sometimes, not always. Depending on context, situation, things, it is kind to be cruel. Yeah. So with myself, I should never be lenient because again, a conditioned soul and given leniency. बाप रे फिर बर्बादी करेगा वो. Conditioned soul given too much freedom is not good. He cannot digest freedom, conditioned soul. This is why a conditioned soul needs the guidance of someone who is realized. Hmm. So a conditioned soul na, should not be given too much freedom, too much of play with desires or too much of time. Very heavy for a conditioned soul to take all this in. So we should be aspiring to come under the purview, under the desire of Krishna, and then act accordingly. Create no more new karmas. And by living like this, we burn all our reactions, good or bad, even in this life itself. And from now on, it is all out of love. So in our daily sadhana also, whatever we do, we should feel that pinch of doing slightly extra. Ekadashi, do a bit extra. Yeah. Something a bit more. Giving some Lakshmi contribution, na, little bit more. Just be extra little kind if we can be. So within myself, I should not be so lenient. I should be strict and disciplined with myself. But when it comes to with myself, I can be harsh, but with others, I need not be harsh. I should never be harsh or rude. Sometimes, again, depending, harsh is also kindness. Rude is also kindness. It's, as they say, like it's cruel to be kind, or it's kind to be cruel. Sorry, it's kind to be cruel, depending on situations. But for others, I should be considerate. Within myself, yes, I should be very strict. Okay, any thoughts, questions, or comments? So as we see, Brahman is the source of both. And this Brahman, Krishna is impregnating, coming from Krishna itself. And the last uh, paragraph of this purport, the second paragraph, the last paragraph of this purport, amazing, right? The scorpion lays its egg in rice, but only a foolish person, one who is lacking knowledge, will say, what? Oh, scorpion is born of rice. Born out of rice. कि स्कॉर्पियन की माँ कौन है? राइस है. Bhagwan Narsinga Dev, he appeared out of pillar, but we don't call him Pillar Sutta Narsinga Dev, uh, son of pillar. No, no. Scorpion is coming out of rice. It's not like rice is the mother or rice is the cause of the coming of scorpion. No, rice is what just giving that environment, that facility, that environment. But scorpion comes out of what? Of the mother scorpion that lays its egg there. Uh, Likewise, Mother Nature is not the cause of our existence, of our, say, birth for that matter. Mother Nature is providing that environment, is providing that facility. But the birth, real birth, comes from Krishna. And we all, whatever is coming in our life is because of our past deeds, good or bad, past activities. And everything is fair in life, nothing is unfair. Everything is fair. And even more, a bit more kind and fair. Okay, let us read the next text. And this is the very very non-sectarian text of Bhagavad Gita. Um, find it very non-sectarian. It is Prabhupada writes in his classes and his teachings. We can see very non-sectarian text of Bhagavad Gita. So let's see and hopefully what we can discuss. In case Lucy, if you are able to read, then read. Otherwise, Harsha, Priti Padna Parsakoto. सर्वयोनिषु कौन्तेय मूर्तय सम्भवन्ति या तासां ब्रह्म महद्योनि अहं बीज प्रदपिता. प्रीति पढ़ पाओगे क्या? Okay, Harsha, you read.
It should be understood that all species of life, O son of Kunti, are made possible by birth in this material nature, and that I am the seed-giving Father. In this verse, it is clearly explained that the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, is the original Father of all living entities. The living entities are combinations of the material nature and the spiritual nature. Such living entities are seen not only on this planet, but on every planet, even on the highest, where Brahma is situated. Everywhere there are living entities. Within the earth, there are living entities, even within water and within fire. All these appearances are due to the mother, material nature, and Krishna's seed-giving process. The purport is that the material world is impregnated with living entities who come out in various forms at the time of creation according to their past deeds.
फिर से पढ़ना Harsha.
The purport is that the material world is impregnated with living entities who come out in various forms at the time of creation according to their past deeds. It should be understood that all species of life, O son of Kunti, are made possible by birth in this material nature, and that I am the seed-giving Father.
Yeah. Now look, why non-sectarian, and see that all species of life, सर्व योनिषु कौन्तेय. सर्व मतलब what? सर्व योनिषु ना, मतलब all species, सर्व योनिषु, all species of life. Murtaya sambhavantiya, Murtaya forms, and sambhavantiya come into existence, appear, become possible. Aham bij pradapita, Krishna is saying. I am the seed giving father. and of not only of humans, or Krishna is not a Hindu god. Uh, Krishna is not like a Christian god or a Muslim god or a Hindu god or a Sikh god. Krishna is God. God is God, Baba. God is not like Hindu God, or for Hindus, this is your God, and for Muslims, this is your God, and for Christians, this is your God. For Buddhists, Jains, Judaists, Sikh, Zoroastrians, these are your gods. No, it's not like a supermarket of gods. God is singular. God is singular. And yet, that singular God, he expands himself in for his rasas, for his joy, for his happiness into multiple. But they all are Vishnu Tattva. Ramadimurti Shukala Niyamena Tishtam Nana Avatara Karod Bhuvaneshu Kintu. Eh? So we see from Brahma Samhita, Nana Avatar Akarod Bhuvaneshu Kintu. Ramadi Murtishu Kala Niyamena Tishtan. Lord Ramchandra, Narsinga Bhagwan, Vaman Dev, Varadev. Even in the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, chapter 3, Krishna is the source of all incarnations. They're scheduled incarnations. And they say, Srimad Bhagavatam tells us that there, how many incarnations Krishna take? As many as waves in an ocean. Now, how many meaning is there unlimited incarnations of Krishna? We do not know all of them. We cannot know all of them. But Bhagavatam gives us some glimpse of a Narsinga Bhagwan, Vaman Dev, Vara Bhagwan, Parshuram Bhagwan, Lord Ramchandra, even Vyas Dev. And their categories. Some are empowered incarnations, Shaktya Vesha Avatar. Some are literary incarnation, writing scriptures. uh, Some are um, another sort of incarnations. So there are different categories of incarnations. But the source of all is who? Krishna. Krishnastu Bhagwan Swayam. Etachamsa Kala Pumsa. Krishnastu Bhagwan Swayam Indrayari Vyakulam Lokam Mridayanti Yuge Yuge. Srimad Bhagavatam 1:28 we understand that there are many incarnations, but the source of all is Krishna, the seed of all incarnations. Also, Brahma Samhita is fascinating. One day, hopefully, Krishna blesses us by the blessings of Guru and Gaurang. We study Brahma Samhita also, the shlokas in Brahma Samhita. Like one of the shlokas says that candle is lit, but there is an original candle from which all other candles are lit up. If the candles lit up, which means there is an original candle from which the light is come about, or original lighters say, from where all the candles are being lit up. So Krishna is that original candle or that original supreme personality of Godhead. God is singular, but he expands into multiple. eh? Eko bahunam ye vidadati kaman. Uh, yeah. So God is one, but for his pleasure he expands into many. Just like in this mundane world also we see, na? Husband, wife, one unit say, but for their joy they expand and they bring forth life to a child, na? Give birth to a child. What is an expansion of their love, or they want to have child, and then further family that ways, and then society, community, society, nation. So it should be all actually an expansion of joy, expansion of happiness, expansion of one's ego identity, but nothing like in a egoistic sense, in a materialistic egoistic sense. So Krishna also expands into many, but those are all Vishnu Tattva, uh, for pure joy, for experiencing different moods of rasas, mellows. And here Krishna is saying, but I am the Bij Pradapita. The source always has to be understood. The source, the root cause, the ultimate cause. So Krishna says that of all species of life, O son of Kunti, are made possible by birth in this material nature, and that I am the seed giving father. So he's not again like the god of Indians. Uh, no, he's not like an Indian god or an American or European or British. No, also not like Hindu god or Muslim god. God is God like water is water. Hmm? Heat is heat. It's not. Sunlight is sunlight. Sun is sun. It's not like Indian sun or American sun or European sun. We live in mundane world with mundane designations and identity, so we give them these names and identity. Krishna also has names and identity and designations, but all transcendental. And his names are by his qualities, by his actions. Yeah, Krishna has many names like what? Govind, meaning of Govind, one who gives pleasure to the cows, to the senses. Gopal, one who gives protection to the cows. Gopal. Huh? Then Madhusudana, one who killed the demon named Madhu. Achyuta, one who is infallible. Adhokshaja, one who cannot be understood by blunt material senses. So these are names of Krishna according to his qualities, everything. And of all these are names of God. uh, Ram, the source of ultimate pleasure. And uh, of all the names of God, the chief his name is what? Krishna. Uh, the Vedas say the chief name is Krishna, meaning Sarva Akarshak iti Krishna, all supremely attractive personality of Godhead is Lord Shri Krishna, the possessor of all opulences, the possessor of all beauty, the possessor of all knowledge, the possessor of all strength, all fame, all richness, and all renunciation. That is Krishna, the supreme personality of Godhead, the source of incarnations of all Godheads and also us living entities and matter. Aham Bija Pratapita. Now, Bij means what? Seed. Hmm? Seed meaning the origin. Hmm? That seed. So, Bhagavad Gita is again taking us to the roots, taking us to the complete basics. And in life, in general, again, any sort of life, student life, material life, working life, the basics has to be always clear. The roots has to be always clear. They say, no, going back to the basics or discipline, eating, sleeping, having regulated in eating, sleeping, uh, recreation, Shishikorantam, Mayapur Sashi ki jai. So that, so this is where like it is not because of our lack of knowledge, we try to put things in a box. Huh? But Krishna consciousness is not like that to be put in a box. Prabhupada used to quote this very beautiful example. What Dr. Frog he used to say. He had a discussion with a Russian scientist also. Dr. Frog mentality. What? Once a small frog jumps out of his well and happens to go into an ocean. And there he meets once a frog from ocean jumps out and happens to come into a well. So meets a frog in the well. So then this frog in the well, Dr. Frog, asks the frog who has come from the ocean. The ocean frog say, "Oh, frog, Mr. Frog, where have you come from? I've come from ocean." "Oh, what is ocean?" "It's a body of water." "Oh, really? Okay, nice. How big is it?" "Bigger than my well?" "Surely it cannot be bigger than my well." The ocean frog says, "No, it is bigger than your well, much bigger than your well." "How much? Double the size?" He laughs. "Yeah, more, way more." "What? 4 times?" "No, way more." "Cannot be 10 times more." "And Baba, it is even more 100 times more than the size of your well." "Then you must be joking. It is not true. Huh? It cannot exist. It is a lie. It is a farce. Oh, it is no. It is something my mind cannot comprehend." Huh? This is what Dr. Frog mentality. That oh, this reincarnation, this karma, this desire, all this so complicated. No, no. It cannot be true. It is not true. Let us just simplify. One life, either hell or heaven, for eternity, job done. But that is not Krishna conscious view. Uh, so Krishna is God by nature. Is not God by some arrangement. And nature works by arrangement, and by whose arrangement? Krishna's arrangement. Just this much has to be understood. So Krishna consciousness is completely non-sectarian. Krishna is non-sectarian. The message is also non-sectarian. Nature is also non-sectarian, right? Nature doesn't discriminate. The virus is non-sectarian, isn't it? The coronavirus, is it not? Completely non-sectarian coronavirus. It doesn't sees whether man or woman, boy or girl, um, mm, Indian or American. No, nothing like that. Rich or poor, educated or doctor, lawyer, engineer. No. Likewise, love is also non-sectarian. But in order to come to this, understand this non-sectarian nature, we need to understand Krishna, the source of our existence. And here Krishna is another saying us, right, that I am the seed giving father. I am the source. I am the mool. Aham bij pradapita. The seed giving father. Nature can never produce anything without the involvement of Krishna. Can never produce. And for Krishna himself to come, Krishna doesn't need the support of nature. So he appeared, na? Krishna appeared from pillar also he appeared. He appeared from the where? From the nose of Lord Brahma. He can appear from anywhere. Well, he is everywhere. Um, it is not like Krishna has to go in the pillar, had to go into the pillar, and then Hiranyakashipu was knocking the pillar, and then Krishna came out of the pillar. No, Krishna is present everywhere. Just the moment I connect with him, Krishna appears. It's not like Krishna is sitting far away. No, he's present everywhere. Just I need to grow. The day I am grown as a student, Krishna is not at all far off. I don't need to become a teacher in life. No. Huh? Expectation is not to become a teacher. The ask is what? Can I become a student? That is the ask. Can I be a student? The ask is not at all that can I be a teacher? We shouldn't be thinking or wanting to become teacher. So Krishna appeared now for Draupadi. Studying Mahabharata, we understand Krishna appeared for Draupadi in the form of sari. Amit, Asim sari, expanded himself. Now Dushasan is trying to disrobe Draupadi, pulling the sari, nothing happening. So it depends on my hunger, also on my faith, and this will be built up in good association. Then Krishna won't be far off. Krishna is there. Krishna loves reciprocating. He loves it like anything to reciprocate. He's very talkative, we understand, right? Krishna. So he likes to speak, he likes to reciprocate. If we just understand the non-sectarian nature, if we understand the mood, and how do we understand the nature and mood of Krishna? Through Srimad Bhagavad Gita, through Srimad Bhagavatam, huh? By chanting the holy names of Krishna, by associating with devotees. Otherwise, we humans, we have a tendency, what? To put things into box. We want to box everything and simplify everything. And in this simplification, we are complicating ourselves. But Bhagavad Gita is actually to simplify ourselves. Any thoughts, questions, or comments? So there was this um, real life. Srila Radha Govind Maharaj shares in his one of his katha, Bhagavatam katha. He was in America. Maharaj was traveling, I believe, in America, and he was saying that one child, very young baby, say, now his father used to work night shifts somewhere, huh? And so the child didn't get to spend much time with his father because the father would be working night shift and then coming home and sleeping all day like that. And child used to spend the night sleep with his mother. And child asks, "Mother, who is he? I've not seen, not known him. Who is he?" And mother says, "He's your father. He's your father." Hmm? So it is the mother who tells us who is our father. So Bhagavad Gita, Vedas, Shastras telling us who is our father. And Krishna is saying, na aham bij pratapita. Krishna is not saying like Paramatma or Brahma or even Brahma or someone else. No, aham, I am the seed giving father. So if we take shelter of scriptures, if we take shelter of the holy name, if we take shelter of devotees, then Krishna is not at all far off. Krishna is right there, right there. Just I need to open up. Okay, so we'll read just one more and try to discuss whatever briefly we can discuss. All our discussions are brief, they have to be brief, they can never be very detailed. Sattvam rajastamaiti guna prakriti sambhava nibadnanti mahabhavo dehe dehi namavyayam. Okay, Harsha ji, read translation purport.
Material nature consists of three modes: goodness, passion, and ignorance. When the eternal living entity comes in contact with nature, O mighty named Arjun, O mighty armed Arjun, he becomes conditioned by these modes. The living entity, because he is transcendental, has nothing to do with this material nature. Still, because he has become conditioned by the material world, he is acting under the spell of the three modes of material nature. Because living entities have different kinds of bodies in terms of the different aspects of nature, they are induced to act according to that nature. This is the cause of the varieties of happiness and distress. Material nature consists of three modes: goodness, passion, and ignorance. When the eternal living entity comes in contact with nature, O mighty armed Arjuna, he becomes conditioned by these modes.
Jai. Okay, I'm not going to discuss this today, huh? But I'll let you think, what does conditioning mean? From now on, we will be going into the chapter altogether, not the three modes of material nature. From here, this chapter, I believe, has 27 texts only, small chapter, short chapter. Even text chapter 15 is very short, 20 slokas only. But I pray that chapter 15, hopefully Krishna inspires us nicely in chapter 15. Mhm. So I will leave it here, but let come up tomorrow. Let us know what do you mean by conditioning? What does conditioning mean? And the three modes of material nature. Up until now in our study, in our sadhana, we have come across three modes. So what do we understand by three modes of material nature? Next time we meet, we'll try to understand the title of this chapter, the three modes of material nature, and what does conditioning mean. And from now here on, the chapter opens up very much, very nicely to discussing these three modes. Yeah. Prabhupada's purpose in these chapter up until like text 26, uh, it's not very lengthy purports. Sometimes I feel, oh Prabhupada, why didn't you write a bit of a more detailed purport, a bit of a more lengthy purport? Some purports I feel, oh Prabhupada, you just left it there. Please return some more. So we pray for Prabhupada's blessings to give us those realizations. Prabhupada's purports are what his realizations. So we cherish them and we pray for Prabhupada's blessings that we can understand these purports and we can understand the message of Krishna consciousness. No? Take it on heart, complete, realize it. So tomorrow we'll try to, next time when we meet, we'll try to understand what is conditioning. Kindly think and let me know what do you mean by conditioning, what does conditioning mean, and what does the three modes of material nature mean. We'll try to help understand this in something relatable, simple sense, whatever simple sense we can. And now to, before I take any questions and any thoughts from you, we started, by the way, any questions or thoughts? Let me take questions now if there are any. Or any additions or any comments? Okay, so we started off our study for today with this question, right? What is the most uncommon commodity in this world? What is the most rare, uncommon commodity thing in this world? The most uncommon commodity in this world is what? Common sense. It is only common sense, sheer common sense, which is lacking. And Krishna consciousness means what in a way? It means common sense. Hmm. To, I mean, this is common sense to understand that there is a creator. And then the creator, the way the universe is working, such fine balance, fine tuning, such harmony, everything. Have you heard of termites? Harsha suna termites? Termites दिमक ना?
जो पेस्ट कंट्रोल करते हैं
हाँ. So study how termites work. Fascinating how termites work. The social structure, the organizing, how they function. It's very fascinating. And apparently they are blind, but how they build and how they work. And the way termites work, we can learn a lot to cool our houses or heat our houses, making that use how they make their houses shelter. Then bees, how bees work, the bee society. So much to learn from nature. And we say there is no God. There's no hand behind nature. Wow. A bit lack of common sense, perhaps? Or am I too simplistic making it? Huh? The way the universe is floating and everything, these gigantic universes, all by chance, all randomly. What is the chance of all this happening by chance? So infinitesimal, so minute, so negligible. Yet we are very nicely grained in society, academic education. It's all by chance. Humans now we act too smart. Check it out. This is a fact of life. Wherever given an opportunity, I would like to jump over it and feed my agenda, feed my ego, huh? Feed my conditioned lower nature. But a devotee should not be like that. Even a human should not be like that. So this is the world is lacking what? Common sense. Nothing is things have come into existence out of nothing. Where is the have we ever seen something coming out of nothing? Where is it? Krishna is saying, na, Aham bija pratapita. That yes, things come into being, and I am the seed giving father. I am the origin, I am the source. Such a organized way of working within nature, all random, just by chance. Wow, fascinating. And in our lives, we don't take things by chance. No. So it is lack of knowledge which makes me say that it is by chance. To give a small example, when we toss a coin, throw a coin, huh? Head comes or tails comes, huh? It could be chance. Okay, we do not know. But if someone can measure again, how many flips does it take, what direction, what angle, say, airflow and all, and one can possibly work it out through some mathematical model. Okay, head will come or tail will come. If the coin makes this many flips and all, then head or tail. Or if we now see this. Growing up, children, we must have played some games and sport. Somewhere might have involved throwing a tossing a coin. Now, if I want head say to come, as a child, we throw the coin in a way that we in our mind we know, okay, that it take this many flips and it to come down and it will come down as head. Do we not? We throw it in a way it comes down tail or head. When we throw a dice, we know, okay, I want four in the dice. So let me see where is four, and I throw it in a way that after two, three rolls, it is going to land on four. Huh? So that much of workings in my child brain I can make. Lord Brahma, can he not design? Lord Brahma had designed it very nicely. Proper engineer. He knows the rules. He knows the logic. He knows the code. I do not know for my lack of knowledge, and it is good that I do not know otherwise because I cannot really grasp or conceive all of this. It's a blessing upon by Krishna upon me. But thing is now, how can I actually know Krishna in a non-sectarian mood and love and serve him? So in this sense, Krishna consciousness is a science, a spiritual science. Hmm. Way more than say culture, philosophy, or some sort of religion. No, it is not like putting Krishna consciousness in a religious box in this sense. A proper science. So God is universal, God is neutral, God is universal for all. Love is non-sectarian, which comes from God, and Krishna is non-sectarian. Okay, thank you very much for your patient listening and kind encouragement. And we give it a rest here and we'll further continue our study of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. And next time when we meet, let us know what does conditioning mean, what does the three modes of material nature mean, and again observe within yourselves, is common sense the most uncommon commodity in this world? Practicing Krishna consciousness will find it a common sense to practice Krishna consciousness. Well, it is all common sense to practice Krishna consciousness. It is a common sense to stop eating meat. It is a common sense to stop drinking alcohol, common sense to go in illicit sex, or common sense to stop gambling, common sense to chant, read, hear, and not like some mental imposition or being like brainwashed or no. It is a common sense. So this common sense could be a bit more uncommon in this world and within myself could be very uncommon, but now let it not be uncommon in me, the common sense. Hare Krishna.